Hello guys, so welcome back to my channel. I'm going to continue from where we stopped from the previous video. Last video I made just the top and the straps. So in this video we're going to be making the inner sole and the top of the inner sole. Alright, so let's get right into it. This is yeye wool, but it is 100% acrylic. It's not so thick, it's thin, it's quite very thin. Let me say like 2 plies. They just spun 2 plies of yarn together. All right, so this is how it looks. It looks quite very thin. So that's the reason I have to double it to get to the size of this. This is milk cotton. So milk cotton, if you're using milk cotton, you can just use one, right? Just one strand. So there's no need of using 2 strands of milk cotton. It's just one. But if you're using, like me, if you're using Yeye wool, our Nigerian brand, you make it 2, right? You make it 2 strands. So that's just what I want to clarify up here. So as usual, we are using 3.5mm hook for this, right? Okay, so let's get right into the video. All right, for the insole, right? This is size 34, and size 34 is like, I think that should be European measurement or European size, but for American size, I think it should be 3J or 4J, thereabout. So for this size 34, we're going to chain 34 less 3, right? So we subtract 3 from 34, that means we have 31. So we are chaining up 31 plus 1. Plus 1 means plus 1 turning chain, all right? So that's the standard I use. So whichever size you have, if you are having size 30, just subtract 3 from it and you have the foundation chains you need. You will have the number of foundation chains you need. All right, so we are going to be chaining 31 plus 1 turning chain. 1 2 3 4 30 31. You add 1 chain more, that's the turning chain. So in total we chain 32. So you insert your hook into the second stitch from the hook. So you make 1 single crochet right there. You put your stitch marker. Now you make 1 single crochet all the way until you're left with 1 stitch, right? Okay, so right here we have made it to this point and we are left with 1 stitch. So now we are going to insert 3 single crochets right here. 1 2 and 3. Now we insert our hook into the first stitch right there, and we insert our stitch marker into this last stitch right there. Now we are going to work 1 single crochet until we get to the next stitch marker, right? We get to the last stitch. You hide your tail as you work. You hide it a little, then you chop it off. Alright, so we've worked up to this point. Alright, so we are left with the last stitch here, exactly where the stitch marker was. So we're going to insert our hook right there and make 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. Right, now we are going to put our stitch marker into the first stitch here. We'll remove this stitch marker we insert our hook at the top of the stitch and we make a slip stitch, chain 1. Now we are having 3 single crochets right here, and we're also having 3 single crochets right here, so they are equal. Now we're going to yarn over, insert our hook at the top of the slip stitch right into the very first stitch, and we'll make 1 double crochet, 1. We yarn over again, insert our hook at the very top, at the very slip stitch through to the top of the very first stitch, then we'll double crochet again. So we're having 2 double crochets here, so that's an increase, right? So we will insert our hook right here. I call this hook, I don't know why, but it's like a hook. It's a stitch marker. So alright, so now we are having we're going to be working 1 double crochet to the midpoint, right? We're going to be working 14 double crochets right here. So we're going to work 1 double crochet in each stitch until we get to our 14th stitch. So here we are, we've made it up to here. Now we are going to yarn over and make half double crochet in the next stitch. It serves like a transition stitch. Now the rest of the 14 stitches, we're going to make 1 single crochet in each stitch till we get to the next stitch marker. Okay, so here we have it. We have worked all the way through to this point. Now we are going to remove our stitch marker. We're going to make 2 single crochets right here. We'll put back our stitch marker in the very first stitch. Now the next stitch, we're going to make 3 single crochets right here. Now in the last stitch, we're going to make 2 single crochets. Now we'll put back our stitch marker. Okay, now we're going to work one single crochet till we get to the 14th stitch. 1, 2, 13 and 14. The next stitch, we're going to make 1 half double crochet. Now the rest of the stitches, we're going to make 1 double crochet in each stitch. 1, 2, 13 and 14. All right, so here we have it. So it's basically the same thing for the opposite side. Now we're going to remove our stitch marker here. We're going to make 2 double crochets right here. So we're going to insert our stitch marker in the very first stitch. The next stitch, we're going to make 2 double crochets. Okay, so here we have it. Now we are going to insert our hook at the top of the very first stitch, and we're going to make slip stitch here, chain 1. All right, so here we have it, nicely done. This is the first, I think this is the second round. Now for the third round, we're going to yarn over, insert our hook at the very stitch, the same stitch. All right, and we're going to make 1 double crochet. We remove our stitch marker here. Now we're going to make 2 double crochet in the other stitch. Put back our stitch marker here. Now we're going to work 1 double crochet till the 14th stitch. Right, so we made it to the 14th stitch. Now we're going to make 1 half double crochet in the next stitch. Now the rest of the stitches we're going to make 1 single crochet in each stitch. Alright, so we have worked it to this point. Well, now we're going to remove our stitch marker. We're going to make 1 single crochet right here. Put back our stitch marker. Next stitch we're going to make 2 single crochets. Next we'll make 1 single crochet. Next we'll make 2 single crochets. Next we'll make 1 single crochet. Next we'll make 2 single crochets. Then this last one we'll insert 1 single crochet right there and put back our stitch marker. Now we'll work exactly what we did here, we do it here. So we'll work 1 single crochet to the 14th stitch. Okay, so here we are. Next stitch we are going to make 1 half double crochet. Then the rest of the stitches will make 1 double crochet in each stitch. Alright, so the next stitch we're going to make, we'll remove our stitch marker. We're going to make 1 double crochet right here. You put back your stitch marker. Next stitch you make 2 double crochets, right? Next stitch you make 1 double crochet. Next you make 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, and that's it. Now we insert our hook at the top of the very first stitch and we make a slip stitch right there. Right, we'll chain 1 and we are through with third round. So this is the third round, we are through with it. So now we're going to yarn over, make 1 double crochet right here. Now we're going to make 2 double crochets right here. Next stitch we remove our stitch marker, we make 1 double crochet right here. So we made 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet. Put back our stitch marker. Now in the rest of the stitches all through till we get to the next stitch marker, we're going to make just 1 double crochet in each stitch. So we are no longer making single crochets, we're making just double crochets. All right, so we're going to work 1 double crochet to the next stitch marker. Alright, so this is it. So we have successfully worked 1 double crochet to the next stitch marker. So we're going to remove our stitch marker here. We're going to make 1 double crochet, put back our stitch marker. In the next stitch we're going to make 2 double crochets right here. Next we're making 1 double crochet. Next we'll make 2 double crochets. So we are going to repeat this till we get to the next stitch marker. Then the last one here will be 2 double crochets. Put back your stitch marker. Now we'll work 1 double crochet. All right, we'll work 1 double crochet from this point till this next stitch marker right here. Okay, so here we have it, nicely made. Now we're going to remove our stitch marker from here. We'll repeat what we did here, we'll repeat it here. So this stitch we're going to make 1 double crochet, put back our stitch marker. Next stitch you make 2 double crochets. Next we make 1 double crochet. Next we make 2 double crochets. Next we make 1 double crochet. Next we make 2 double crochets. Alright, so now we're going to insert our hook at the very top of the first stitch here. I'll make slip stitch, chain 1. This is the 4th round, so here we have it. Right now, the next thing we're going to be doing, we will make 1 double crochet in this very stitch here. Next we make 1 double crochet again. Now the next stitch will make 2 double crochets. Now we are left with 1 stitch here. We remove our stitch marker, make 1 double crochet, put back your stitch marker. Now the rest of the stitches, as usual, we're going to make 1 double crochet till we get to the next stitch marker. We have worked it all the way to this point. Now we're going to remove our stitch marker. We're going to make 1 double crochet right here. Place back our stitch marker right there. Now the next stitch you make 1 double crochet again, right? Then the next stitch we're going to make 2 double crochets. Next we make 1 double crochet. Next we make 1 double crochet. And next we make 2 double crochets. So this will be a repeat until we get to the next stitch marker. Then the last one here, we'll make 2 double crochets. Place back our stitch marker. Alright, so now we're going to work 1 double crochet to the next stitch marker. Okay, so this is it. We've worked up to this point. We're going to remove our stitch marker here and make 1 double crochet right here. Put back our stitch marker. Next, make 1 double crochet. Then the next stitch will make 2 double crochets. 1, 2. Next we'll make 1 double crochet. Next we'll make 1 double crochet. Then we'll make 2 double crochets right here. So it's a repeat of what we did here. So we'll continue that way. Next, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and the last one here we'll have 2 double crochets. So this is it. Now draw up the loop and check it. So let's kind of check it. Let me just slip stitch so we'll check it. Alright, so here we have it. It is up to the height of the heels, right? So it's just like this. It has to be at the point of the height here, and it has to be curvy inwards like this, right? So if we remove this, we'll have it this way. Basically, what I talked about in my previous videos. So if I remove this, it's kind of curvy, trying to take the shape of the Crocs, right? So this is the way it should be. Now let's let's draw up our loop and clip off. Okay, now we're going to connect it together. So right here, you're going to skip this stitch, the first stitch here. You're going to go into the second stitch here from the back, right? Don't pull it too tight, just nicely. Now you're going to go back into that place, into right here, all right? So go back right here, insert our needle and bring it out this way. Make it look nice. So here we have it. Now we're going to hide our tail. Hide your yarn. Right? Hide your yarn right here. Go back like this, you hide your yarn. Okay, so here we have it. Clip off. All right, so what we just finished was this part of the Crocs, all right? So we're going to make the top part here. But for the top part, right, we're going to be using one strand. So if you are making for yourself and you have milk cotton, just get a yarn that is not too thick, maybe 2 plies, right, or 3 plies of yarn. This yarn is really thin, so if you can view very well, you know how thin it is from just the look of it, right? So this is how it should be, and the reason is because if I use 2 strands of yarn and after making it, it won't be of the same size of the press for the person that it should perfectly fit. So if one whose size is size 34 might be finding it difficult to fit in, right? So this is the reason I use 1 strand. Okay, so for this side we're going to be using 2.5mm hook. So for this, we're going to lay our sole, we're going to lay it flat like this, and we're going to find the midpoint starting from the foundation chains here. So we're going to find the midpoint, and this is the midpoint right here. Okay, so from the midpoint we'll count 3 to the left and 3 to the right. So 3 stitches to the left, we have 1, 2, and 3. Just place our stitch marker there. So we'll mark it. Now from here we have 1, 2, 3. Place our stitch marker right there as well. And this one is standing on its own. This is the midpoint. Okay, so we have 7 stitches right here. So we're going to remove our stitch marker here. We insert our hook. All right, we're going to insert our hook right here. Insert our hook, and we'll get our yarn. We'll attach our yarn. Now we're going to go back into the same stitch. We'll make 1 single crochet. We will insert our hook, sorry, our stitch marker. I used to call it hook. So we're going to make one single crochet till the other stitch marker, that is this stitch marker. So we're going to make one single crochet right there. 1 2 3 4 5. Now we have it. Now here we have this is the central point, right? This is the central point, and the total number of stitches we have is 7 stitches. Now we're going to the next stitch here, we're going to make one single crochet, right? Next we're making one single crochet. Right, now we will turn our work this way. We will skip the first stitch. Remember, we had it this way. As we turn, we don't chain up, we don't chain any stitch. So we're going to skip the first stitch, insert our hook into the next stitch, and make one single crochet. You can put back your stitch marker if you want. That is if you would find it difficult to identify the stitch. Now we're going to work one single crochet to the next stitch marker, and we should be left with 8 stitches. So this is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Then this is the last stitch here, 8. So now we're going to insert our hook into the next stitch here, which is an empty stitch. This stitch has already been occupied, all right? So this stitch is unoccupied. So we're going to insert our hook right there. We'll make one single crochet. The next stitch we'll make another single crochet. Then we turn our work this way, okay? We skip the very first stitch, insert our hook in the next stitch. We're going to make one single crochet. You can as well put back your stitch marker right there to identify your stitch, all right? So, but if you can identify your stitch without the stitch markers, you're good to go, so there's no need of putting your stitch marker. So we're going to work one single crochet to the next stitch marker. So this is next stitch marker here. We'll remove our stitch marker. We're going to insert our hook and make one single crochet right there. All right, now we're going to insert our hook here. The next stitch is this. This is not the next stitch. This stitch has already been occupied, so this is the next stitch right here. So you have to be careful, so you don't have to insert your hook at the same stitch again, right? So you have to be careful, because it looks as though this stitch is not occupied, but it is occupied. This is it, this is it, so it's already occupied. We need to go into the empty stitch here. So we're going to make one single crochet right there. The next stitch we'll make one single crochet right there. We turn our work, we don't chain up. Now we skip the first stitch, insert our hook into the second stitch, and we'll make one single crochet. You can still put back your stitch marker. For me, I don't put back my stitch marker because I already understand my stitches, right? So we're going to make one single crochet till we get to the next stitch marker right here. All right, remove your stitch marker here, insert our hook and make one single crochet. Next stitch, this is the next stitch here, not this stitch. We're going to make one single crochet right there. Next, we make one single crochet right there. We turn our work, we don't chain up. Skip the very first one, insert your hook into the second stitch and make one single crochet. You can put back your stitch marker. All right, so if you count the stitches, you will notice that it increases by 1 on every row. All right, it increases by 1. So if we had 7 single crochets at the first one, the next row we'll have is 8 single crochets. The next we'll have is 9 single crochets. The next we'll have is 10 single crochets. So That's how it increases. Now we're going to make this, we're going to continue like this, right? You're going to continue making this until you will get to somewhere around here. Just a little above these openings, just a little above the openings. Or you can just use your two hands, like your index and your middle finger. You can just place it like this and mark it out. Okay, so here we have it. I have made it up to this point, although you can't see it, but if I remove it, you will see it. Like if you check inwards, right, you can see where it reaches. Let me remove it gently. So if I remove it, pull it out gently, and this is it. This is how it looks. Okay, so now what we're gonna be doing is to make sure we can, to make sure we can catch this slanty area like this. So that's what we're gonna be trying right now. All right, so now what we're going to do is to insert our hook into the next stitch here. Remember, not this stitch. Insert our hook into the next stitch here. Make one single crochet right there. Into the second stitch, we make another single crochet. Now into the third stitch, we make another single crochet. So we're having 3 single crochets right here. We're going to turn our work and skip one stitch, insert our hook into the next stitch and make one single crochet, and we'll continue till we get to the next stitch here. Okay, so here we have it. We're going to insert our hook into the next stitch here. Remember, not this stitch, the next stitch. We make one single crochet 1. Next stitch we make one single crochet 2. Next we make one single crochet 3. Now we have 3 single crochets. We turn our work, skip one stitch, insert our hook into the next stitch, make one single crochet, and we make one single crochet all along to the other end. Okay, here we are. We're gonna insert our hook into the next stitch here, not here but here. We're going to make one single crochet there. Next stitch we make one single crochet. Next we make one single crochet. We're having 3 single crochets. We turn our work this way, skip the first stitch, insert our hook into the second stitch and make one single crochet, and we'll continue. Alright, so this is what we're gonna be making. Alright, this is how we're gonna take it. We're gonna continue in this manner until we're able to cover the Crocs. Alright, we're gonna continue in this manner until we're able to, catch the whole thing right here. Alright, so it covers all through. I have made it to this point, right? As you can see, it's covering it. Now we're going to slip stitch right into this next stitch and we'll chop it off. Alright, so this is it and we're good to go. Can you see how it is? So it's okay. So don't mind here. I was working on these Crocs before. Alright, so right here are what we need to couple it together. Alright, so this is our pieces. So here we have a length of 40 inches of this yarn, this same color of yarn, the inner same color of yarn. We're going to be using it to sew on this side. We're going to be using this as our glue, which is shoemaker glue. This is a shoe glue. Apparently, this is a shoe glue. We have this. This is for my fabric glue B6000. You can use it to literally glue on anything, but the problem is it has a small opening, so it's not for large surface area. So you can use this, or you can use hot glue. You can use this, or you can use hot glue. Just double it up, or you can use your normal strand. So I'm going to insert my hook through the very first opening here. Insert your hook there. Now you make sure that this is equal. You make them equal, right? Fold it in half. Now you hook it on the hook inside here, and you bring it out this way. When you bring it out, just draw out, pull out just one. Don't pull out the both, alright? Don't pull out the both. So we're going to make them equal. You just hold them together like this and make it equal. So right now they're equal. Now we're going to insert our hook into the next opening here. Insert your hook right there. Okay, so insert your hook right there. You take from the inner yarn, you fold it like this, and you hook it on it, just like this. When you hook it, you draw it up. Make sure you don't pull this, alright? Make sure you don't pull this. Just open it this way and pick the other one. Pull it out through the opening. Then you pull up this other end, right? So you pull up this end and lock it like this. Now you insert your hook into the next, right? Draw out the loop, open it, pick it, and pull out this other end. Okay, so here we have it. Just trim it off so we can knot it here, tie it together. Now you can just trim it off, and here we have it. We're going to apply our gum. We're going to apply our glue on this. Hey. So I'm going to apply my glue like this. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do, okay, so you should notice that I didn't apply any glue at this point, at this side. So I didn't apply any glue, and that's because we're going to sew on here. Alright, we're going to place this on it, right? Just nicely place it on it. So this is exactly how it looks, right? This. Okay, so the next thing is our strap. Remember, this is where we sew on it, all right? So we're going to place it at this side. So this is the way it should be. Just align it here, make sure it's aligned, and align it over here, make sure it's aligned. Make sure you pull on here just a little while you align it. Okay, so this is it. This is how it looks. Okay, so we're going to pin it down using our board pins. We kind of pin it down. Okay, so here we are. We'll get our yarn, we'll get our hook. I'm using 2.5, but you can use 3.5, the one we've been working with, but I want to use 2.5. So we insert our hook at the very top of this, at the peak of the strap. All right, so we insert our hook at the peak of the strap, and we draw up this, we draw it up a little bit, and we'll pick it. We'll just pick it from anywhere here. All right, then we'll keep our hook straight. All right, don't turn it this way, don't turn it that way, just keep it straight. And you pick somewhere here, you pick it like this. Now we're going to yarn over, so I pick the end. So between this and this, I pick this, and I yarn over and make a chain stitch there. Draw up the longer end. Draw up the longer end. Now I'll go into the next stitch here, right? Now into the next stitch of the sole here, and yarn over and make a single crochet. Into the next stitch, insert my hook, yarn over, make another single crochet. Next, make another single crochet, 3. Next, I'm gonna cut it like this, trim it off, pull out this loop, and we're gonna thread in our yarn. I'm going to this loop. Here we have it. So this, I made these flowers I had to make it so that I can give this a more beautiful look. So I used this B6000. I use it to glue it on it, but you can use hot glue to glue it. I prefer hot glue. Okay, so but I used hot glue to glue it all around this side. All around the side. I used hot glue to glue it. Now, the next glue I have to apply is this right here, which is this. Alright, this is my shoemaker glue. So this is for shoes. And if you apply it round and gum it, it's gonna stay. Alright, so that's how we have it. If you don't want to glue it, you can sew it, but I tell you, sewing it is very difficult because you have to poke through all the sides before you can sew it together. So the most preferred choice is to glue it. Next up, we're going to be making Crocs for Santa Crocs. Please, if you like my video, just give me a thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed. I love you.